Hello, everyone. This is Robert Paltz. How's everything going? Let's get this all set up here. Okay, here we go. All right. Big Irma made a request on the Facebook site that she would like to take and see uh, some input on the Zotero for the research log. And so let's get started. Okay. Neither a professional or an expert genealogist, just an amateur like you. This is a collaborative effort. I do these vlogs. I try to keep my errors in it. This ought to be really interesting today because I haven't even practiced this. Um, it's how I do it. It's not necessarily how you would do it. Just give you some ideas. I want to thank everyone that's given me comments and help in the past. It's really been a help. I've really improved some of my workflow. I also do the videos where people say I go too fast in my presentations when I do a presentation, and so I do this for them too. All the views expressed are mine. I'm a member of multiple genealogy societies, and currently I don't represent any of them. I do administer a couple of Facebook sites for one name families. If you've got one of those names, I'd love to see you there. And as far as AI is concerned, and there'll be a little bit of AI in this, I'm just a beginner. Just keep that in mind. Okay, this is what I'm responding to. Can you show how Zotero in making a research plan? I'm not going to cover that today. In fact, I don't do research plans very often right now. I'm just collecting data right now. I may do that later on. I have some ideas about how I want to do research plans using Gemini notebook, and we may do that in another video. And converting your research notes using sources that you brought into Zotero. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do is show how I input data into Zotero, and and then actually, I'll probably when I do the research plan, I'll answer more of this question. Okay. Okay. I made a commitment to take and get back to her, and then I got ill, so that didn't do it. For demonstration purposes, I've chose Martha Bell Kennedy, uh, and as an example, and this will be a demonstration of collecting sources and not analysis. Okay. Just for starters, my composite file in Roots Magic, for those that don't know, is hints and ideas and stuff of that nature that are downloaded from the internet. So this is the information that's on the internet for Martha Bell, and here's a sample of the sources that they're doing. Most of this is censuses. All of this is censuses, in fact, except there's one. Nope. I thought I saw one database when I was looking at this and setting this up. Uh, you can see how the different people on the internet do source citations for the same thing, and that's what you get off the internet when you do that. Okay, so that's Martha Bell. Here's what she looks like in Zotero right now. There's not much there. She is there's a find a grave in there, and that's the only record that's in there. Actually prefer having something closer to her birth date, but it doesn't look like that's available readily. So we're talking about someone who lived a long time ago, and I think she's my sixth generation over here, and she is my second great grandmother. Okay, so let's get busy. So let's do this, and we will do this. Okay, let's go to Susan Fair. Wait a minute. This should be Susan Fair is her mother. Did I do? Then oh, I know what's going on. Susan Fair is her mother. Okay, so am I in Fair or am I in Ball? I'm in Susan Fair. I'm sorry, got distracted. Okay, so when I set up a Zotero file, I have a note status at the top, and I use 000 notes to bring that to the top. And then I do connections. And when I was talking about Martha Barrel, that's her daughter. That's the one I've been working on lately. And so I got a little confused here for a minute. And I also record all my searches. And so this is the search that will lead you to this page, which is in Family Search. So and that's Susan Fair's information. Let's get Susan Fair over here so you can see who she is. Okay, now let's redo this so that you can see what's there. So we got an 1850, we got a Kansas Census, 1880, find a grave, okay, and all that. And then the find a grave's already in there. Collected a long time ago. Looks like in 2024, looks like. I renamed it today. Okay, when I put a record in like the find a grave, which would look like ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Find a grave would look like this. When I put in a record, I put it in by the date. Now, in this case, you got two dates, and I chose the date that's the nearest to where this record was made, which is the death date. And so that goes in, and that's recorded here. There's her number. This is the death date, and so on. And there are two records there. Let me show you. You have the one at Find a Grave, and you have the index at Family Search. And they're both valid records. Okay. And these have already been in there. I'm going to leave them like that and move on. Okay. So the first thing that I do is go to Family Search and look at a person, and that would be here. That's the census. That would be here, and then I'll go to the sources. When you come into a Family Search, most of the time it'll either come here or here. I go to sources. Okay. And for this particular individual, there's 8 sources. Now, these are closed when you first get here. And then you click on here, and it opens it up, and it will give you the link in Family Search to that document. So when I'm taking and entering this document, then it will be like this. I will take and come up here and click on the Zotero connector, and that will bring it in to right here in the 1850 census. So the first thing I want to do with this record is get it in timeline order. So it's 0. I always put my reference number in front on these records because if I just put the census number or something like that, uh, and the files get corrupted, they'll all be in one place. But this way you can separate them out if something happens. Okay, and then I will take and put a notebook up here. Oops, I'll bring that over. And I'll go back to this. Here we go. And I'll take all this information here down to there, which will open up all the way down. Copy that and put it into that notebook. Note, and it'll give you all that information just like it is. And I like to put it in like that. I don't do much cleanup on it. Then I'll go back and I'll go back up here and I will pick up the copy of the citation and I will come back to Zotero, back to that note, back to that, oh, wait a minute, back to this. The reason why I go to the note is it cleans the data. Then I do a Control AX, go to Zotero and go into notes. And now I go B, and that puts all that information into here. Okay. And I can clean that up if I want to. Most of the time I don't. And so now the next step that I do, and this is in my uh, YouTube stuff, is I go to the YouTube that I did on oh, okay, the latest. Okay, let's go down here to the AI reason statement, and I'll go into that because this is where all right, stop that commercial, do more, and come down here to the bottom and say, this is the prompt itself. Okay, so I take this all right here, pull that out, and now I go to Google, I go to Gemini, I put this in here. Okay, now I go back to Zotero, and I do a um, generate a report from the entire collection. And that looks, well, come on. Whoops. Let's see if I can get that to come over. It doesn't want to come over. Well, that's revolting. Generate report from the collection. Oh, well. Okay, then I file. Okay, file and save it. And I want to show you. All right, we'll start this. Let me see if I can get this. Ah, there we go. I got it to come over. There we go. Yeah, okay, so there it is. And I want to save it. And I want to save it as a text file. If you can save it and this is going to be research log. And it's Susan Fair. Okay. And I'm going to say save. Then I kill that. And now I go to the item that I just entered, and I say research report. And I say save. So I'm doing the same thing, except now this is the research log for the 1850 census. Okay. Then I go back to my Gemini. Oops, Gemini right here. And I add files. Okay, and that comes up over here too. There we go. Add files. I don't want that. I want the files to come in from downloads. And there are the two files that I put in downloads. I say open. Okay. Objective is the targeted event is the 1850 census. Okay. Okay. And this targeted individual is okay. And okay. Let's see what it has. I didn't put the family group show. Okay, now this is what it tells me. It
think that reflects the way that Manchester, before the conquest of Minnesota, was lawmaking, a royal centre, and hitting since continuing that role in the early years after. So you think there's been an administrative capital at this time? Absolutely. Yeah. The bad news is that although it might be the book of Winchester, Winchester isn't included in the survey.
So there's a probability of 10 out of 10 that this fits in with her. Okay. Well, there wasn't much to take and compare it to, I will admit. But it did do this. So I take all of this. And now I have a reason for her to be there. And here's the reason statement that I will put in Family Search if I were to add this record to it. It's already in there, so I'm not going to be adding this record to it. I copy all that. I bring it over here. There's the statement. And now I add another note. And I put it all in there. So it's all there. So I have a record of that and the note of determining it in there. Okay. All righty. So let's keep on going. Let's get all of Susan Fair's stuff in there. We got to get back to here. Okay. Back to here. We did the 1850 census. The next one is the 1860 census, and so on. So that's how I enter data. And then I will, what I will do is I will make sure all these files are in my files. Oh, I have one more thing to do here. When I went here, I have viewed the original document, and now I put that up. Now this is the original document, and I click on that. Okay. Now that comes in right here. And again, I just take this information here, there, copy, and bring that to this here. So this was all going to be in timeline order. Okay. And now for the note on that, I will go back to here, go to here, and what's that? Okay. Okay. I'll take all this information here. And I will put that in a note here. Now you can get the picture, didn't I? So that's okay. So I now have everything in there. And so I have it in there twice. This is actually the 1850. I want to put a form on it. On that one. And on this one, I'll put details. That's how I separate them. So I have the form and details. Now, what did I put anything in the name? Yeah, I did. Okay. All righty. So that's how I take and enter data in there. When I get through, I will have entered all of these, all of the records. Let's do another one just to show you. So let's kill this one. I don't need this one either. Let's go back to this. Okay, that's 1850. Let's do the 1860. Let's do something a little different. Susan Bell and let's do the Kansas State Census. That's a little bit different. Find a grave's already in there, so that would be the only other one. So here we go. We'll do the 1850. We'll do the 1875 Find a Grave Census. Okay. So I hate to tell you, but this is a lot easier when you're doing it in with multi-screens, but it's hard to take and show you multi-screen. Can't remember the details this time. Okay. And then go get this. Get all this information. Down here to this. Go into here. Okay. Now, if I wanted to strip all of that matrix information off of it, I can. But actually, it makes more sense to leave it on it sometimes. And so I'll leave it on it too. And then we're down here at this end. And we go back and we get the source citation, copy this citation, and come over at this end. Okay. Okay. And so, okay, it's not going to do it because it's in that matrix. Okay. And so I redo this. I say this is the 1875 census, so I want to generate a report. And I'm going to save it as 18. 18 is 75 census. Okay, that's in the 1875 census. And then I have to redo the entire thing, generate a collection, and say save. And I'll just reuse the Susan Fair piece. Yep. Okay. And so I can kill that now. Now I come back to Gemini. And, well, nope. Oh, it's Gemini. Gemini down here. I think what I want to do, and what I generally do, is start a new session. And so I asked Gemini, I got to ask Gemini this. And then I have to go up here and say the event is the 1875 census. And the individual is, and there. And I say go. Oops. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's go upload files first. Got the cart before the horse. 1875 and Susan Fair. Okay. Open. Redo. Okay, and it says it was an original record again. Timeline feasibility analysis. Okay.
The site of the castle is now covered by much later buildings. We're in the castle, we're very short.
Yeah.
The reason why it's here, it's not because you can see where we're in the town. Which the Roman walls around this. And the Roman walls took in.
It's another 10 out of 10. And so I got to do the same thing for her that I did here. I need to take and bring in the original document again. And I need to save that record. Okay. And that's here. And this is the 1875 census, so I copy it from there. I don't want details, I want form. So this one, put that in and say form. Okay. And so for the notes on it, open that up and go back to this. And it doesn't really have any notes, does it? Okay. Now each of these items will be downloaded. The documents will be downloaded and put in their file. The actual description and everything, I use Zotero for that now. I don't do that. I used to screenshot shoot that, but now I just bring down the documents. Okay. How many more documents do we have? We don't need that. I'll go back to this. Okay, we did that. We have 8 documents. They're going to be identical. Like I said, they're going to be identical. So I am going to choose not to bore you with that. So that's how I enter it and get the information in. So to take and do a research plan from that, you need to take and put all the information in there. Now, I had, to give you an idea, I'm currently going through my records and updating them for other stuff. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, now we went to Family Search and we got that information. So that's an easy way of entering information. And I shouldn't have to take and do that anymore. Okay, where is Susan? Susan, Martha Bell, Susan Fair. Okay. All right, now let's do what I call throw the kitchen sink at it. Okay. And I won't be downloading any of these files. I showed you how those files are done. Okay, I go to Save Searches. I have built this search in the past, and I believe there's a video on it. Okay, and I want to take and do, no, what do I want to do? I want to go to Web Search. I'm in the wrong place. Go to Web Searches. Okay. Okay, here I am at Web Searches. The first thing I want to do in Web Searches is show the results in the browser. Okay, now this is Ancestry. Okay. Now, what this does is Roots Magic will try and take and make your search algorithm. Okay, so I'll hit this. Go straight into it. Yeah, that's nice for it to flip over like that. So you have that picture that's in there, and you have these pictures that are all in there in Family Search that are in Ancestry. Okay, that's coming from the trees. I have a whole bunch of private member photos. Let's dump this up to 50. Let's see if we've got any information in here that would be of more interest. Member photos, they're all going to be the same photo. She's going to be in a lot of trees. We've already gone to the, here she's in Blacklick, Indiana, Pennsylvania. For the longest time when I saw Indiana, I thought it was the state of Indiana. I had to take and learn that it wasn't. So let's see if we've got, there's an England census. She's not supposed to have been born in England. Selected birth, England, selected births, and so on. Ohio births, she's supposed to be born in Pennsylvania at this stage. Ohio births, counties, Scotland. So you're getting a lot of information from families, from Ancestry that doesn't necessarily have this apply to this person. So U.S. wills, Susan Fair, Pennsylvania. That's something we didn't see in that, did we? Okay, let's see what this says. That's all it says is Susan Fair in Pennsylvania. Okay. All that is an index, isn't it? It says to go to page what? Susan Fair in Pennsylvania. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? Told you she's going to be a ride with me today. Samuel Fry. Well, that's interesting. Fry's another family name. Or Fry. Fry. Susanna. That's the fair? Susanna. There it is. 167. I wonder if this document has page 167. Now, that's just the index that they have. They don't have any more. So it's always worth looking because sometimes they do have more. Okay, that doesn't tell me enough information to know whether it fits or not. Now, I probably will save this, and let's go ahead and do that. And let's put that down here. So we're right here. And so does that have any date information on it? Doesn't have any date information on it. So we'll have to take and put that as under her name, 00862. So if it's a Pennsylvania will or probate record under Susan Fair, if it's going to be our Susan Fair, it's probably going to be the death of her mother or father, or a brother, or a family member, where they will something to her. Sometimes the brothers will stuff to female members of the family. I have no date on it. This has to be evaluated from that standpoint. So let's go see what kind of notes we got on it. It's not a whole lot. Wills, volumes, so on. Well, we need this piece up here. Ancestry isn't real good about allowing you to take and do stuff. And so, wait a minute, I need to go here. Okay, notes. Okay. Some fair in Pennsylvania. Probate records. And then go back to this. And we want the name, place, and volume. And I've got that. Okay. Perry County, Pennsylvania. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. I got that. Let's pick that up. That was interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's just take all that. Put that in here.
This is one of our most visual examples of leprosy and the effects it would have on individuals.
And let's correct that. Get real picky about stuff sometimes. Okay. And that's really all you get out of it. It's not much there. Now save the record. My shoebox, and it doesn't give me the option to take and save the record. To my tree. Yeah, save this record as up here again. And let's go look at this. Let's see if I can download it any place. Save it to your computer. Okay. And it came in under that number. I don't accept that as a final. I'll take this right here. This title here. I will come into downloads and let me bring that over there so you can see it. And you're going to see a lot of my work lately. I'll leave that image number on there because that means something to Ancestry. In general, they don't like a lot of operators in the thing there. Okay, so I've got her reference number there. That'll file it for me. And so anyway, there we go. And okay. And so that's wills and probates for her. Okay. Now, frankly, you got to go through all the records that they found for ancestry records and find things that are in there. So, see, I don't think she's going to have anything in West Virginia, but there's another probate. Let's see what that one looks like. Yeah, see, that's associated with that same one, I bet you. And that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be somebody else. So what do we do with that? Okay, so now we take this here and I bring it into here and I put a note. I'm going to put it down as rejected. Okay. And now it's important that you keep these rejections. And what I do next is I'll come here and I'll put rejected up here. Okay. And in all fairness, I will also go to downloads and put rejected here. My notes are in Zotero for why it was rejected. Okay. All righty. So that was somebody else. So Ancestry's not giving us any newer information than we had from FamilySearch. Okay, let's get back to searching more people, searching on more devices. We're still here. We did Ancestry. Let's do FamilySearch. Always worthwhile to do a FamilySearch search. You don't know what you're going to get, and it's going to be not all that useful right off the bat. Okay, here's the burial record that Find a Grave is covering that. That's not her. That's not her. Uh, that's not her, or as far as we know, and so on. So this is what I call throwing the kitchen sink at it. Okay. The next one would be Find a Grave. Now, generally, the Roots Magic connection to Find a Grave doesn't generate anyone, and that's their algorithm. So I haven't done anything to it. Most of these at the top are theirs. Find My Past is not interesting. Fold 3, I don't think. Well, her husband was in the military, so United States of America, Susan Fair. Yeah. Name coming in as a name. So there are several in here, but none look like they're getting me excited. They do have censuses in here too. So anyway, so that would be FamilySearch, or that would be fold 3. Trying to Genealogy Bank. Well, I'll show you what it shows. I don't have a subscription to Genealogy Bank, but it will show you what's in Genealogy Bank. So if I had a subscription to it, I could view those records. These are all now a Google search. See, that's not the same person. That has to be done more research there. Okay. And then we have Bing, which surprisingly is better than there's Find a Grave. They've got it in MyHeritage, FamilySearch Ancestries, and they've got WikiTree. Okay. The rest of the stuff is pretty general. Bing is, and then MyHeritage. I don't have a current subscription to MyHeritage. I get one about every 5 years. And she's there because she's in my tree on MyHeritage for starters. So one of those is going to be my tree. Yahoo search. Like I said, this is okay. They've got her in Find a Grave. Let's see if they've got the right one. Yep, that's her. So, uh, where's the Yahoo? There we go. MyHeritage, WikiTree, Find a Grave, Ancestry, Find a Grave, Index. Okay. It's interesting that each one of these search engines will generate a different answer. 1950 census, she's not there. Revolutionary War bounty. Let's see what she's there. Okay, this is the United States. This is National Archives, and okay, it didn't find anything like that. It seldom does with this with the date on it. I generally take it off and bring it over here and go search applications. Okay, that does not look like it, like her. So anyway, that's the National Archives. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there today. Sometimes I'll dig into it. Oklahoma, she was never in Oklahoma. Uh, Military, you don't need that. Newspapers. Okay. This is newspapers.com. And look at this, Indiana, Pennsylvania. Uh, Blair's, Pennsylvania, 1844. That's interesting. Oh, nope, that's not her. No, we don't want much. I think I'll narrow it down to Pennsylvania. Indiana Democrat and Indiana Progress. Indiana, Pennsylvania. It's going to be awful close. Looks like errors of something. Blackledge Township. That is not her. Susan Fair intermarriage White T. Earhart. And resides. That's not him unless she didn't go to Kansas. Unless she had another husband that I don't know about. Um, so that's almost all the same. Indiana, Pennsylvania. It looks like this is going to be worth doing some. No, that's not them. Like Susan, there were a lot of Susan Fairs in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Going to have to take and do some work and separate them out. So that's another task for another day. I haven't done much on Susan Fair. That's why I chose her. Internet Archive. Probably not going to find anything there. Let's see. Okay, like I said, it's generally have to take the dates off of these searches that see if the Internet Archive has anything in there. You'll be surprised how often I find something in Internet Archive. Well, there must be a ballad about Susan Fair, the Fair Susan. So we got all types of ballad books and everything. Wouldn't that be something if she was named after the ballad was written about her? Okay. Lots of information there. Probably none of it's going to be relevant, but it has to be looked at. World Wiki Tree. Okay, you got to fill this one out, and I won't do that today. In the interest of time, it's getting pretty long anyway. Ancestry North American families. Eugene Fair had one. View record.
Gold was stuck to the casting pages of the Bible using a glue called gesso. Before it works, it has to be moistened.
I don't see anything there that would be useful. Well, let's move on to the next one. All right, now this is the one I almost always find something in, but she probably has to go under Kennedy to get a lot of results. Well, that's Butler, Pennsylvania. Nope, that's the other one. Showed up a while ago. I'm going to have to, I can tell you now, I'm going to have to take and do this. That's Butler, Pennsylvania again. So, so this you have to take and edit it too and put Kennedy. Oh, if you're going to take and do this right. And you probably want place also. So we only have her United States of America. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so we want Kansas and we want Pennsylvania and apply it.
private ruins to meet medievalist Dr. Catherine Reichert.
Okay, we got
Right now, this is a bit that our
looked like a good record.
Yeah, he goes on this part here, adding a whole new hall and creating essentially massive courtyard structure with buildings and
Let's try something.
you can see some
There's search input. And see where it comes up. Well, we tried. All right, that's going to take some time to take and go through that too. This is what the kitchen sink. Oh, DuckDuckGo always generates. It found Find a Grave, found Genie, and My Heritage. Okay. And then these are the ones military DAR. Not going to help any. Dead Fred. Digital Public Library of Oklahoma. I mean of America. I'll skip over some of them because like I said, you got to take the dates off sometimes and see if it'll find anything. Depending on how sensitive some of these are, that may make a difference. Okay. It's not applicable, but it did find something. All righty. So I'm going to call that a wrap and stop sharing and start shutting down. You all have a good day. I hope that answers your question. And on data entry, I will try and get back to you on the question on doing a research plan. I plan on using the Gemini notebook for that. That looks like the next step in doing research plans. And I would like to use it on this one. It looks like we can use more records. Have a great evening. Thank you for spending your time with me.